Slasher. That's SLASHRR, and the song's called Genesis VIP, and it's really good. It has under 1,000 plays right now, and I've been listening to it constantly. He did a really good job with it. Other artists that are underrated. One that comes to mind right now, if you're into Jersey club music, is Ramen Boy. He's quite good. Oh, of course. I don't know if I can call him underrated anymore, but Former Hero. He's been getting kind of big recently, so. But his stuff's excellent. And let me see, trying to think of somebody to round this off with. Oh, this is actually the artist that I did. Well, he did the vocals on "Come to Light." If you've heard that song, he goes by Heirlo, Heirlo, and he has some really good, almost Porterish pop stuff on his SoundCloud. There's a song called Aquarius that's just absolutely lovely that I recommend anybody listen to. And I was really happy to get him on Come to Light because I've always enjoyed his stuff, and it was just really cool to work with an artist that I really respected.
For sure.
Kind of getting off topic at the end there. Sorry, but
no,
he's an excellent artist, and I highly recommend checking out his solo stuff.
Right. This one's a little bit more technical. This is a question I threw in here just out of personal curiosity.
Okay, sure.
That vocal effect you do on Kill the Pain and Connections, how?
What vocal effect are we talking here? There's
just the processing on like your voice. And like I remember in Connections, you had like you and a couple others were in like a game lobby, and you had
that was, if you believe it, I think that was me, Chuck Sutton, and Wisp playing a Minecraft game. It was some sort of Minecraft versus game. I can't remember exactly which one, but I just recorded it and threw it in there. I think the vocal processing on that. Let me check it out real quick. Yeah. Okay. All it is, I believe, if I'm correct, it has been a while since I've looked at these songs, is that it's a frequency shifter. I literally just pitched it up slightly on the fine frequency, and then I think pitched it down on the more coarse frequency knob. So, and then I think maybe I threw a grain delay in there, very slight, of course.
Right.
Yeah, and then other than that, for my vocal effects on Kill the Pain, I think it might have been a slightly different setup. I think I might have had more grain delay. And I think I just pitched down my vocals and pitched it up with a frequency shifter. It gives you an interesting effect. It kind of reminds me of something Josh Pan would do. So,
yeah, I get that. That's just always intrigued me. I remember when you put those tracks out, I was just like, I really wanted to know how you did that effect.
Yeah, I mean, I've always meant to like do maybe a track breakdown or two at some point, but I've just never found the time / by the time, like, you know, people would actually be interested in track breakdown, I'm already working on something else, you know.
Right.
It's always hard for me to stick to one project, I guess.
Now I'll ask some questions that I've had people throw in as questions they wanted asked. So
sure.
One is like, what's your favorite like VST or sample pack to work with?
As far as my favorite VST, I'd have to say just, you know, vanilla Serum. I think Serum's ridiculously powerful, and a lot of people overlook it. Well, no, they don't. Everybody uses Serum, but it's sincerely powerful for doing just about everything you want, and I stick to it and stick to my guns for the most part. I'll use a custom operator every once in a while for a lead or something, but I really do stick to Serum. And as far as sample packs go, it kind of varies, but one that I've always come back to is the Iska glitched sample pack from Total Samples. The drums and percussion samples in it, the kicks and snares are just unbelievable, and I really like those. So I always come back to that one.
All right. This next one, this is a two-parter.
Okay.
What is the most rewarding part of producing and the most frustrating part of producing?
Okay. I could be really vague, and I could say the most rewarding is releasing, and the most frustrating is actually making the music. But I'll try to, you know, narrow it down a bit more than that. I'd say the most rewarding part of music is seeing people actually enjoy it. Like there's something behind numbers online, you know. Like it does feel good to see a lot of people liking and reposting or playing your track or listening to you on Spotify. But I think one of the most rewarding parts, as well, honestly, anybody in the arts at all, is seeing maybe like a piece of fan art or just somebody shout you out on Twitter or just stuff like that, little things. And that feels different than just seeing people play your music. That feels like there's actually something behind it. It's more than just listening. It's always a really cool thing to see that. So yeah, if you ever want to make an artist feel, just shout them out on Twitter or something. They'd love it. And the most frustrating part, probably should have discussed this first just to keep the mood up, but oh well, is definitely, at least for me, mixing and mastering. I can put together a song real quick. That's not the difficult part for me. What's difficult is making it actually sound good. There's a big difference between having a complete song and having a good sounding song, and that difference can mean like maybe a week or 2 weeks or even months depending on the song. I mean, sometimes maybe it's just a day or two, maybe 3 or 4 days, like my most recent remix, the Sea of Voices remix. That literally just took me like, honestly, not that much time to make and complete. That song's been sitting in my library for like a year, and I just haven't released it until now. And I mean, that one's took, no time, but there's actually a song I was working on forever that I ended up not releasing. Literally, I started it in 2017 and I've been working on it since, and I honestly recently just deleted it because I was so done with working on it. That's probably the most frustrating song I've ever worked on. Nothing seemed right, nothing seemed like it was really meshing together well, and I just couldn't get the mix right, so I gave up on it.
All right, I'll ask you a little bit more upbeat question. What is the proudest accomplishment or moment you've had as a producer so far?
Oh, geez. I don't know. Oh, there's one recently that comes to mind. It wasn't really me, but it was really cool to see. So recently, Casbo came to play. I live in St. Louis, and Casbo came to play in St. Louis, and what the opening act was actually somebody that I've known forever. Like, I used to use a website called Audio Tool, which is basically an online workstation that also came with its own release platform and stuff like that. And this artist, Ford, who I had met on there, was opening for Casbo. I was honestly more excited to see Ford than Casbo, no lie. As good as Casbo. But Ford I had known forever, and I gotta say, I was grinning like a complete idiot his entire set, because it was just wild. Because I'm hearing all these songs that I know all the lyrics to, but I've known them for like years. And then every once in a while I'd hear the song that I actually helped master. And then I'd hear like newer stuff of his that's really good. It was wild knowing like 95% of the songs that he played, and it felt really cool just to see, somebody else that I'd grown up with kind of do what I'm doing. And that made me pretty proud to think that we both started off on that same website, and now look at where we are.
I would say that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
It was so much fun. Oh my god. I was just there in the crowd myself, just not moshing, obviously. His music isn't exactly the type to mosh to, but just having a damn good time.
Right.
Sincerely.
Okay, and then for our last question, this is a question that gets asked for every interview.
Okay.
And I will continue the tradition. What character do you main in Super Smash Bros?
Oh god, you don't want to hear that answer. Which Smash Bros?
Any version.
Okay, well, in Brawl, and no, Melee. Oh my god, Melee. I'm gonna preface this with that I'm absolutely trash at Smash Bros. I've never been able to play it very well. I'm
same.
Yeah, so everybody out there who's good at it, or like even just semi-decent, or even like competent, don't judge me. But when I used to play, my friend used to have a GameCube, and we'd set it up at his place and just play it. And when we'd play Brawl, Melee, I would main Kirby, which is like supposedly the worst character in that game. So that's me.
Yeah, I can relate to not being good at Smash.
Oh, I'm so bad.
Oh, I was gonna say that like every time I play, it's usually at a friend's, and I always play joke characters just because I know I'm gonna lose anyway, so I might as well have fun losing.
Dude, that's fair. Yeah, people take that really serious. Like, but one of my friends from high school that I kind of keep in touch with every once in a while, he like actually plays Smash at a competitive or semi-competitive level. I'm not entirely sure. And I remember playing with him one time and just getting my ass handed to me, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I am really bad at this game.
Like I remember the last time I played Smash 4 for like the Wii U, and I played me and one of my friends both played as Luigi with the purple costume. It's like a Waluigi duo.
Oh my
It was
god,
phenomenal. Not gonna lie.
like that,
It was like we both absolutely are trash at this game. We might as well just play as Waluigi twins. And
yeah, no, I mean,
in style.
Honestly, I find that game to be ridiculously difficult to get a handle of, so I just play Kirby. I don't even care.
Yeah, I remember one time I was playing as Pikachu, and we were having like a New Year's tournament, and I figured out you could just spam secondary attack, and it was so effective. It was like the only game I made like top 2 on. It freaked everybody. Everybody else was like, you can't play Pikachu anymore.
Yeah, no, yeah, I love that. That game has so much strategy to it, and then every once in a while you play your good friend and you'll just win because you spammed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miraculous.
Sounds like Smash.
Well, it's been great having you on.
Thanks you very much. Yeah, it was really fun. This is actually, if you believe it, the first interview I've ever done. So it was really fun and a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah, this is the first interview I've ever done by myself too. So.
Oh, sincerely. Well, you did a great job, I think. I mean, I don't really have the experience, but it seemed great.
Thanks.
No problem.
Now for today's mix by Red Hokkaido. Be sure to stay tuned afterwards for our live segment.
I believe we're live.
Cool. There we are.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Came back
There
to my
we go.
headphones. We're definitely live, and we are gaming. How
We are
is
gaming.
everyone in the chat?
Hello, gamers. Our Pixel Empire podcast viewees. How's everyone doing?
Well, welcome to today's live set. I'm Noah. You might remember me from the interview I hosted about 20 minutes ago.
And I am Dylan. I've never actually been on the live segment before or Pixel Empire podcast, so I'm very happy to be here right now. A lot of people might have known me through Twitter as Hoarders Worlds, but I now go as Music Mountain Dylan. So thank you for having me here to host, and I'm excited to talk to everybody.
First question I see, why is Red Hokkaido perfect? That's a good question. I don't know how it's possible to be so good at IDing tracks and also playing tracks.
That mix was amazing. I loved every second of that. That was so much music that I didn't even know, and I just wrote down like almost that entire track list so I could go check out those artists later.
Yes, absolutely. Red always seems to have a track list done, like before you even have time to listen to the mix. It's like, wow, there's already a track list.
That was awesome.
And then Alexa asked, what are we gaming? And the answer is yes.
What you gaming?
Yeah. The answer is just yes.
Yes.
Everything. Everything and anything. Yes.
Only real gamers will know.
Gaming is a lifestyle.
ID.
I definitely agree that Red should go on that Shazam TV show.
Oh, that would be so cool.
He would win so much money.
So much. I love that show.
Probably bankrupt the show. Just the entire production budget decimated.
Absolutely wiped. Why do you keep saying 7? Is that like a joke? Am I missing out?
I'm actually a little bit curious too. Killian, please enlighten us on 7.
I've seen 7 twice. I can't tell if I'm being memed or not.
Yeah, I'm such a... Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. I am being memed. Uh-oh.
I definitely think Red could win us the SoundCloud money, for sure.
Sorry, Red, it's not yours, it's ours.
That's right.
All proceeds go towards Pixel Empire podcast. Thank you. 7, 8, 7.
I am so thankful it's almost the end of the semester. I'm getting burnt out. I'm
You're
so
in
glad.
School.
Yes, I am.
That sucks. No, I'm kidding. What do you think?
I'm double majored. I'm doing computer science and audio production.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. I am very jealous. I envy anyone who's able to go through school because I don't have the attention span to go through school.
Yeah.
I tried my hardest. Tell us about yourself, Dylan. Oh, okay. I mean, do you guys have any like specific questions for me? I could like generally go over myself. Like, I am from Vancouver, so I am a Canadian. I've been involved in the electronic scene probably since 2011. What else? I mean, there's a lot of things. Does anyone have like any questions specifically for me? Since it is my first time. My entire life story.
Just the whole thing. Start just day one, daily breakdown, all the way through.
I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. No, I'm kidding.
I bet you spend a lot of time on the playground.
I do. I used to get in trouble. A lot of trouble. Dream career. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Dream career for me is definitely something I talk about a lot on my social medias. Is something within the music industry. So my top 2 are photography. I do a lot of photography right now. I haven't done much because my camera is broken and I'm saving up for a new one. But that's definitely one. And I've also been looking into doing artist management. So I might be working with somebody very soon, which is currently under the wraps, low key kind of thing. Can't talk about it, but artist management is definitely something I want to dig into. How did I get into music? Favorite Porter and Maddie on things, and how did I find the podcast? I got into music. I honestly, I don't remember. I just have like a very vivid memory of me just randomly being on YouTube and like coming, what is it? What's that? What's the generic like big YouTube channel that used to have all the dubstep? Is it UKF?
I think it's UKF.
UKF. I found Zed's Dead. I found Nero. That's how I found Deadmau5. That's how I found Scream. I found a lot of the old OG dubstep guys through UKF's YouTube channel, and Nero was actually my first exposure to electronic music next to Skrillex. I found Nero's remix of Ghosts and stuff, and that was actually also my first exposure to Deadmau5. So the main reason I actually got into the scene was pretty much through Nero and Skrillex, and then I kind of expanded off into there, into like Big Room, Trap, and it actually took me a while to get into stuff like Future Bass. I didn't actually know much about Porter until about, I think, 2013, when I did hear his Spitfire EP, which had come out in 2011, I believe. Very random, honestly. Things happened really fast. I went through a lot of the subgenres of electronic music pretty quickly. As far as my favorite Porter and Maddie on things, I would say my favorite Porter thing is just what he's doing right now. I'm just happy to see him happy. The Virtual Self project was brilliant. I went to the Brooklyn show. I flew out from Vancouver, and that show was absolutely beautiful. It was probably one of the best nights of my life. I've never seen the energy that Porter brought on stage before he did that show that night, and it was super, super cool to watch him just enjoying the project, and it just looks like he's been enjoying life a little more, doing the music that he wants to do. So I'm very happy to see him do that. Maddion is really special to me as well, because I actually started to get into Maddion just before I listened to Porter, because I heard one of Maddion's tracks in a NHL soundtrack. I used to play a lot of sports video games. So I got into some of Maddion's stuff through that, and then into Porter's stuff around the same time. So Maddion's been a very early on love for me in electronic music. And how did I find the podcast? Is because the beautiful host Noah with me here was the one who brought it to my attention.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about wanting to do like a podcast, and then we were like, yo, we should get him on. So I DM'd you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very happy to be on this now. I did do a couple of podcast episodes, but it's too busy right now. It's hard to run a podcast by yourself. This is an awesome team with Pixel Empire, and it makes it a lot easier to organize something like this with such a great team. So
let's see. I saw a question earlier. Where is it? It's another one from Alexa. Do you both plan to move to be closer to your dream music jobs or music scenes in general?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm kind of fortunate because I've lived in like really small town Tennessee for most of my life, and now I live in kinda Nashville, kinda not. So I'm a lot closer to like a scene now than I was before. But there's still not much of an electronic scene here. Though I would kind of like to see one here more than move away, because I kind of like it. But I wish there was more of a scene.
Are you trying to work in the music industry?
Probably. I definitely would be interested, but I've not really narrowed down like what I want to do yet. I'm kind of leaving my options open right now. But
okay.
I definitely am interested.
Okay. One like good piece of advice I've gotten, at least for myself, is with the scene where you're living right now is try to find either other people who are trying to bring music and join them, or even contact your current events companies and see like if you can work with them to bring more to Nashville, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. Those are just like two. I know one thing that's big for me right now is I have a friend who's starting up an events company, and we're actually looking to bring in some artists, and we have a couple of artists. So it's kind of hard to just like say it. You kind of have to do it, but a really good thing is to just do your research, bring in a team, and see how you can bring music into Nashville.
For sure, for sure.
As for me, moving closer to my dream job, honestly, I think the scene in Vancouver is pretty awesome. We do have the Monster Cat headquarters here.
Oh, really?
Which is really awesome and really good for the Vancouver scene. Monster Cat does a lot around Vancouver for us. We have obviously Live Nation, which is like world-leading events company. We have quite a few events companies over here, and it does bring all genres of music. So as far as music scene here, it is great. I know a majority of the artists that I personally know live over east in Toronto or just in Ontario. So if I were to move somewhere within Canada, I would definitely move over to Ontario just so I could be closer to the artists that I know, and it would make it easier for me to want to work with them down the road.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Do we have other questions?
I would answer the Article 13 one, but I'm not informed enough to like.
I have
give
no
an
idea what
actual
it is,
opinion.
to be honest.
I mean, I've heard very vague information, and that's about it. So like, I don't want to say an answer when I don't like know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, maybe for next time level.
Yeah,
but I'm not
thanks
quite
for
sure what it is.
asking. Thanks for asking, but I don't want to answer it without like knowing what I'm saying.
Where have you traveled to? That's a good one. Have you traveled anywhere, like besides moving, I guess?
I've done some traveling. It's not been like out of the country. I've done some traveling, mostly for concerts. Weirdly enough.
Okay, like any like big specific ones?
I think one of the longest ones I ever did is from the Shelter tour, where the closest show to me was Atlanta, but that one was 18 plus, and then like the only other show I could do was like Oklahoma City, which is like 4 times as far away.
Wow, that's
and
crazy.
I went to Oklahoma City. That was an interesting trip, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Had to see Shelter. It's worth it.
Yeah. No, always worth it. Definitely worth the trip. I've traveled to a bunch of states. I do a lot of traveling for music festivals and just like seeing friends and shows. So I've been to, see if I can remember off the top of my head, I've been to Seattle, which is actually only a 2.5 hour drive from where I live. So I'm very close to the border. I have, Washington State. I've been to Colorado, Florida twice. I've been to Texas. I've driven through New Mexico. Been to New York, which I was there for the first virtual self show. And what's the last one? Is Washington D.C. in Virginia? I actually don't know the states very well.
DC is its own thing.
DC is
like,
a state?
It's not even a state. It's just our capital, and then we like they pay taxes but don't get to vote hardly. It's kind of weird.
Well, I went to Washington D.C. for Shelter. That was my first Shelter tour stop.
Ah, you went to DC. Nice.
I did. I went to the first weekend of Echo Stage.
Yeah. DC, the way it's like half Virginia, half Maryland, but it's like technically not either.
Okay.
So,
That's
yeah.
weird. That's super weird. E-Forest? Question mark. I will not be going to E-Forest, unfortunately. Another year missed out for me. I don't know if Noah has plans of doing E-Forest.
I have never been to E-Forest and probably won't go. If I do any festivals next year, it's probably going to be Bonnaroo, just because of how close it is, especially to
Yeah.
where I'm going to college. Like, literally, it's like a 40-minute drive from campus. So,
Okay.
and I went last year. I went one day last year for Bonnaroo and had a lot of fun. That was my virtual self tour stop.
Ooh, how was that?
I had a blast. I was immensely underprepared for the heat, but I had a good time once I managed to obtain water to stay hydrated. I had a good time. So, but yeah, that was the only festival I did last year, and there's
Nice.
probably a good chance I'll try to do Bonnaroo again this year, but I really can't see myself going all the way to Electric Forest.
Mm-hmm. It's far. It's hard doing a camping festival when you have to fly.
Yes, exactly.
It's definitely one of the big, like, how do I do this in the least expensive way possible?
Let's see, where are they called E-Forest at again?
E-Forest is in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that would be far for me.
Can't remember how far out of Michigan it is, but it's a little bit of a drive, I think, to the forest.
Yeah, that would be pretty far for me, even.
Yeah, same. It would be like, I think, a 6-hour flight for me.
Ooh.
We have some more questions, I believe. Murph. Oh, wait. There's one before that. Singing Chameleon asked, what's our favorite listening memories from Maddyon and Porter?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I'm trying
to think of like a specific thing off like the top of my head.
For Maddyon, I have one for Maddyon. Mine for Maddyon will be the day he released Adventure. I just remember it came out and I was on my way to a haircut, so the entire bus ride to my haircut appointment, I listened to Adventure full on through for the first time. And it was such a nice day out. It was sunny. It was like perfect temperature. It was like just the start of summer, so it wasn't too hot yet. I think it was just the start of summer. I actually can't remember what month Adventure came out. Was it June? Was it March? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was actually still. It's not that cold
Wait,
here.
No. I think it was April. I think I'm wrong. I think it was April.
I think it was a little bit after March. I don't remember it being that early, but either way, it was a really nice day out, and I remember falling in love with that album on the way to my haircut appointment.
Let's see. The question, I'll go back to that. I'll quickly answer the question about favorite country. And I can't really pick a favorite country because I've only ever been in one.
Culturally, I'd love to visit Japan or Norway. If I had to pick one, I guess.
Let's see. I remember you were talking about when Adventure came out. I remember when they did that like iTunes preview where you could listen to it like a week early.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I remember I stayed up till like 3 a.m, and I didn't even make it through Adventure. I was so tired. Like I got to like I think Innocence, and then like I had to go to sleep, and I just woke up the next morning just absolutely just pumped to finish the album.
That's awesome.
I remember that.
Such a good album.
I had to fight sleep so hard to even make it that far because I'm like, I've got to stay, because it didn't come out until like midnight Pacific time nearly, so it was like really late at night, and I'm like, I've got to stay up and at least hear part of this album. Like it's got to happen, and it was worth it. It's always worth it.
My favorite Porter experience, actually, now that I think about it. To answer that side of the question is, honestly, I've seen Porter 13 times, including, or maybe 14, including his Virtual Self project. And just my favorite experiences with seeing Porter would be all the times I've seen him with my friends who live in different states. There's been multiple times where we've flown from literally corners of the USA to meet up and see porter together, and I think that's probably stuff I will never forget, and that's something that I would love to do again, because I haven't done it since I saw I guess Brooklyn, but like actually Porter Robinson, his World's Live tour. The last time I got to see that was at his appearance at Something Wonderful. I think that was last year. Yeah, he played Something Wonderful World's Live just before they did their final Coachella set.
I need me some friends that'll meet up for the shows. That's what I'm talking about. That's great. I'm trying to think. I think my probably for Porter, I think the first time I heard Worlds had to be phenomenal, because I just remember being like so absolutely just like blown away by it, because like I'd never heard anything like it, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
What are those like? You immediately just want to like know if there's more, because it's just like I've never heard this sound before and I love it and need more of it. And I just remember I was just absolutely, let's see, I would have been like 14 when I first heard it, and I just remember being just absolutely just like mind blown over it.
That's awesome.
So for my favorite Porter listening memory, that's probably it.
Yeah, we already answered. I love Porter. I miss him. I can't wait for him to work back on the Porter Robinson project. I love Virtual Self, but I'm itching for Porter Robinson.
I will take whatever he wants. Literally any show I will go to if it's within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, totally.
For real.
Okay, we actually do have a couple more questions. We have gotten more.
Good.
So we answered the country one. Murph asked, what's our favorite album or EP released this year? That's so hard.
My favorite album is...
Can we do like a top 3 or a top
Honestly,
5?
I think we can do a top 3. I can probably come up with 3. I can think of 2 off the top of my head.
Yeah, go for it.
I know definitely album 1. Very, very important listening from this year. My second favorite, well, I'm not really ranking them. Another favorite was the G. Jones album.
Yes.
The Ineffable Truth was great. Let's see. I'm trying to think what all the albums that came out this year. I would say the new 1975 album, but I've not actually had a chance to listen to the whole thing yet. So I can't say it's in my top 3 without having like actually heard it yet. Because it just came out Friday, and I've not. Let's see. Yeah, that'd be yesterday. Yeah, it just came out yesterday, and I've not had a listen through yet.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't either.
I can't fairly say it's my top 3, but based on the singles, I have a good feeling it's gonna probably make my top 3.
I have a top 5 list that I actually recently just made, so I'll actually just read off of that. I'm gonna go top 5 here. As it stands, unless something amazing blows me out of the water for the rest of the year, my top 5 right now is Places We Don't Know, which was Casbo's album that came out earlier this year. The Ineffable Truth, to repeat what Noah said, because that G. Jones album was mind-blowing, and I just saw his tour stop like last week. And
That's gotta be nice.
I literally was mind-blown. G. Jones is a mastermind. He's so underrated. I
really wish he would have toured here. I would have went for sure.
He has a second leg of the tour, I believe, that's going to be coming out, so hopefully he goes to you.
Yes, please. Please come to Nashville. I'm begging. I need it.
Oh yeah, another one is, I'm a huge Rez fan. If you don't know of me, I also admin the Cult of Rez. So Rez is obviously one of my top artists, and Certain Kind of Magic is definitely on my list. I thought it was a really well-crafted album. It had the standard Rez sound in it, and it also had collabs that she probably would never have experimented with. So that 1788 collab was out of her element, and same with the Fitch collab. So
Yes,
she gave us two really, really awesome collaborations on that
The
album.
Death Pack collab too.
Yes, the Life and Death is
Life and Death. I wanted, like, I remember I didn't get to catch the Mass Manipulation tour, but I remember seeing videos of Life and Death, and I'm like, I need this ID released.
I know.
And then I literally I remember just being annoying and just randomly replying to like some of her like show tweets, like, release Life and Death, please release Life and Death. And then she put out the track list, and it's like Life and Death, and I'm like, yes, please, finally. And then it's funny because Rez always puts her albums out like right at my birthday too, because my birthday is the 5th of August, and she always puts them out on like the 4th or the 5th, and it's like, it's a birthday gift for me is to finally get Life and Death.
Amazing. Oh, and also, shout out to Rez's remix of Divinity.
Yes,
And that's all I have to say. That second drop is so beautiful. I've never heard something so melodic come out of Rez before, so when I heard the second drop of that remix, I was just like, wow.
For sure.
And then my last two top 5 is Singularity by John Hopkins, which, if you guys are unfamiliar with John Hopkins, please listen to the album. Please. My recommendation, if you take anything from what I've said today, is listen to Singularity by John Hopkins, and you will not be disappointed. And last one, Little by Little by Lane 8, which was a gorgeous album.
I remember one of the songs that, not necessarily the album, but one of the songs this year that I've heard that I really, really like is Underwater by Rufus Du Sol.
Yes.
That song is phenomenal.
Okay, yeah. I guess I have to throw Rufus Du Sol in my top as well.
Yes.
I totally forgot.
They played Bonnaroo the same night I saw Virtual Self, and oh my goodness, they played Underwater before it was out, and I just remember like hearing it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the song is phenomenal. And then
That's
like
awesome.
I literally just patiently waited for the release, and then it came out in August, I think, and
Yeah.
I was so thankful to finally get it out, and then I just listened to it on repeat for like months.
That's yeah.
The song, I like the last build in that song. It's super, super neat. That's probably my favorite part of that whole song. Is like there's like just that one last build.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
such a good song.
I think we have a couple more questions before we wrap it up.
All right.
If we wanna spit through them. Let's see. I lost it. Where's that one?
What artists are you looking forward to next year, and any new upcoming artists you'd recommend keeping an eye on?
Oh yeah, there's one more. Someone asked if we think Maddion's gonna tour next year or 2020, and honestly, I don't know, but I'd put my money on next year.
I feel like next year, but I'm not gonna hold anybody down the dates
Exactly.
because I don't want to hear the album until the album's ready. I want to hear a finished album that Hugo's happy with, and that's all I want.
Totally.
No matter when it comes out, I just want a product that he's happy with, and then I'll be happy with it.
Same.
So
I'm sure
whenever-
we'll get it when he's ready.
the answer is whenever he's ready.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's my final verdict, because like I don't want to like I'm not a big fan of deadlines, especially with albums. I feel like albums that get really rushed, I feel like they always end up like not, the vibe's not right.
Yeah, agreed. Someone asked, what artists am I looking forward to next year, and any upcoming artists I'd recommend on keeping an eye on. Next year, I'm really hoping for a Nero album. So,
Did you see their Instagram post?
when?
They made an Instagram post that like with the date for Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah, they said 12/4. So,
What?
yeah, they posted a picture and said like 12/4. So there might be new Nero on Tuesday.
Give me 1 second. Yo, what?
Yeah, they posted it like yesterday. Yeah, it just says 12/4. So I think
cry.
you might even get it before the end of the year.
Oh shit. Okay,
Christmas might come on time.
Whew. Okay. Well, Shit. I might get Nero before next year, so that's great. Okay, I'm super excited now. I did not see that Instagram post. Okay, next year, who else? I'm looking forward to seeing what Porter and Maddie does, as always.
For sure.
Next year will be a very big year for Rez once again. I love seeing what she's gonna do. I'm really hoping. You know what I am most excited for next year is seeing what the Woodstock type festival is gonna be looking like. Because so far, just through Festival and what he's been talking about, it looks like they've been trying to build some very big artists. Like they've made offers out to obviously like Daft Punk, Swedish House Mafia. So, and obviously they're just offers, but seeing how that festival is going to shape up is going to be very interesting. It's not going to be called Woodstock, but it's going to be run on the same grounds as where Woodstock was held in 1969, and it's going to be pretty much like a Woodstock 50th anniversary like celebration festival. So
Wow.
That's one big thing I'm excited for in next year.
Could you imagine if they actually got Daft Punk though?
I'd cry.
That would be.
I'd go.
The tickets would sell out in like 15 minutes. It'd
I'd
be
buy a ticket. It's going on.
It'd be absolute like the entire internet would just crash. Like
my
if you
credit
had
card
not-
is
if you-
going to be loaded.
oh yeah, autofill.
Autofill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, then I remember that for Coachella to get Daft Punk in 2006, they like legitimately had to pay for their entire stage setup.
Yeah.
Like it was like 16 million or something they had to pay. Like they paid for the pyramid and all of that stuff. That was Coachella money.
That's crazy.
Literally, they said they would only play if they paid for like all the stage design. So
Jeez.
the entire Alive 07 tour, that stage design was paid for by Coachella.
Wow.
But that's what it took, and Coachella was willing to do it.
That's crazy.
So, and we, as you know, that turned out really well for Coachella.
Yeah.
But that took so much money to make that happen. So if that Woodstock festival makes it happen, I'll be really impressed.
And
'Cause I feel like it
then
would take a lot.
yeah, it would 100%. To bring them back, it would take a lot. And I honestly could not see another festival outside of Coachella being the ones to pull them back, but maybe we'll
Right.
get surprised. Yeah, and then underrated artists, just to like push a couple through quickly, is Slews. I'm looking very forward to seeing more from Slews.
Good pick.
Um,
Good pick.
Blank has been doing a lot. I don't even know if he's considered underrated anymore, but I'm excited to see what Blank is going to do.
Another good pick.
No, I just met a couple of people not too long ago named Ikigai and Motoko, and they both have some really dope shit. So, looking forward to seeing more of them. Jaron just toured with Akali, and he's been a friend of mine for about a year, and I can't really call him underrated anymore because he just did such a big tour with Akali. So
That opening gig was beyond deserved. I'm very very glad that happened.
me too, 100%. Who else? It's hard to think of these artists on the top of my head. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many artists. But just keep your eyes out. My best suggestion is look at artists like, I'm so sorry if I butcher this, but like Xavi, or, you know, just like go on the smaller artists page and look at who they listen to or ask them who they listen to, and the odds are is they know a lot of the underground right now. So if you're looking for small artists, find small artists that you know and try to find out who they listen to, like who they recommend as an underground artist, because they really know the underground.
It takes one to know one in the underground electronic scene for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, that's good advice. Let's see. Are we ready to go ahead and wrap up?
I think so, unless you have anything else to say.
I think we covered about everything. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode of the Pixel Empire podcast.
Thanks, guys. And also, just so you know, if you do have a Twitch Prime, you can subscribe to the channel for free. It's just above. So if you use Amazon and it's linked to your Twitch account, and if you don't mind giving Pixel Empire the sub, come check out us for the following weeks.
Shameless plug, merch link in bio. Thanks for tuning in.
Patreon in bio.
Give us your money, please. We need it.
All right, gamers, we're going offline. Thank you.
Forever online, but the stream's going offline. Peace.
Peace.